Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, we have a backstage update on who WWE views as its top heels and faces.
Our WWE stacking the card for this year's Money in the Bank Premium Live event.
New tag team champions were crowned on last night's NXT 2.0.
And Young Rock teases The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'll believe it when I see it.
And this is the news.
Right, we're going to kick things off by going over this report from PW Insider's Mike Johnson, of course, covering who WWE view internally as their top faces and heels. I think the big talking point from this list is that Cody Rhodes is seen as the number 2 babyface on Raw at the moment. He is behind Bobby Lashley, who is at number 1. And remember, this is WWE internally. This is how they view people, not necessarily how Steve from the internet
yes.
or whatever. But look, I like both of those guys. So Steve and WWE.
Yes.
What am I talking about? AJ Styles is number 3. Top 3, number 3 babyface on Raw. It kind of stacks up. On the heel side, Seth the Chef Rollins is listed as number 1. His mate / no longer his mate, Kevin Owens, is number 2. And Edge and Damian Priest are just in behind there, the Blue Goo Crew. That's their stable name.
No, it's Edge and a Christian. Come on, get it right.
Come on, Steve. Come on. Why everyone is Steve now. Speaking of Steve, over on SmackDown, Roman Reigns is listed as the number 1 Steve.
We the ones, baby.
And on the baby Steve side of Steve's, we have Steve Mackin Steve.
I don't know what that means.
Drew McIntyre
got it.
is listed as the top babyface. So it's about in line what you'd expect.
Yep.
Drew has been rumoured as a potential Steve contender for the undeceived. This is a crap joke. Why am I still running with it? He's been rumoured as a potential challenger for Roman Reigns at some point, so that makes sense. I think it all adds up. Cody has obviously just come back in. Bob Lashley was WWE champion not so long ago, and he's also my favourite guy in the entire company, so I'm quite happy that he's listed at number 1. But yeah, what do you make of all this? Are you shocked by the lack of the Fiend?
Yes, a little bit, but aside from that, I think it all makes complete sense. Like you say, I have a feeling that maybe Drew McIntyre and quite possibly Bobby Lashley will face Roman Reigns for that world title before Cody does. Cody, I would assume, may well be SummerSlam, fingers crossed. And you've got to expect, I don't know, Money in the Bank or any forthcoming pay-per-views to potentially feature Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley in that number 1 contender spot. And yeah, in terms of heels, of course, it's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and the like. And Edge and Damian Priest are just... I'm just still waiting on that one, if I'm perfectly honest.
Are you taking the let it play out stance?
I am, because I am intrigued. If they choy in, your Rhea Ripleys and maybe even your Tommaso Ciampas, there's a potential for it to be a cool stable. I just wish they wouldn't end matches via blue light.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Dumb. Anyway, should we look ahead to Money in the Bank?
Sure.
Because yet again, according to the brilliant Mike Johnson of PW Insider, apparently WWE are planning to stack that card. The show goes down in Las Vegas, Nevada in a few months, of course. And already being advertised locally are Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey, Bobby Lashley, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, and Drew McIntyre. I know what you're thinking. Where's Cody Rhodes on that list? Well, this isn't to say Cody Rhodes is not going to be on that show. The people that they advertise are almost sort of guarantees for that show, basically. They're ones they are confident will be on that card. I'm not saying I guarantee Brock Lesnar to be at Money in the Bank, but they are people... They don't just say, hey, maybe Stone Cold will show up, basically. So if potentially you get even 3/4 of that lineup on the card for Money in the Bank, it looks like it's going to be a stacked show. Money in the Bank is one of my favourite WWE premium live events of the year. So I can't wait for this. They're planning big things by the looks of it.
Yeah, they kind of have to, with it being a stadium show.
Exactly,
now, Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. They attracted, 51,000 was the reported figure for SummerSlam in that building last year. So, yeah, you want to sell that amount of tickets, you have to have big names, big matches, and all this. Card is subject to change, is obviously the eternal disclaimer in WWE and wrestling as a whole. But yeah, they make sense. They have to stack it, really.
Exactly.
Really. Okay, NXT 2.0.
Say it properly.
NXT 2.0. We got new tag team champions last night because of course we did. Nash Carter was fired from WWE recently. Of course, we've spoken about this because the stupid man took a picture of him, shaved his mustache down to Adolf Hitler and did a Sieg Heil pose. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
And why would you take a photo of it? Not smart.
Can I guess who the new tag team champions are?
Aye, go on then.
Are they the brilliant, grizzled young veterans?
I don't think they were even in the
Oh,
match.
they didn't even
mate.
feature in the match. They had a match with someone with an injury in it instead, a one-person tag team. What do they have to do? Sorry, I'm getting I've gone off a tangent here.
They're there to job, mate. They're there to job. They're experienced wrestlers who are really good at wrestling. They're there to job. That's what NXT 2.0 is, isn't it? But yes, Pretty Deadly. They only arrived last week. Now they're the bloody champions. They're getting the rocket push, evidently, now that they are in NXT 2.0. The way the match panned out, basically the Creed brothers kicked everyone. It was a gauntlet match,
yes,
right, for the vacant belts. Creed brothers kicked everyone's ass. Legado del Fantasma, Benson and Hedges, and Grayson Waller and Sanga all eliminated by these dudes, and then the Creed brothers not the Creed brothers, the Pretty Deadly brothers, the sexy elf guys with their sexy attire.
Elf.
They look like sexy elves.
Yeah, that's a good
what
shout.
can I say? And they came down and they obviously took advantage of the Creed brothers' tired state, and in around 27-28 minutes, they won the final stage of the gauntlet. They are the tag team champions after being unveiled as the Creed brothers' mystery attackers last week. So this gives the Creeds yet another reason to be pissed off at these sexy elf boys. Surely it'll lead to some kind of 2-on-2 match at some point. Interesting that they've been given the belts basically in their first match on this brand, but it shows the level of faith that WWE have in this act.
Yes, and Wade Barrett's very pleased about all this on commentary. It all makes complete sense, this. Good decision, in my opinion. Like you say, the Creed brothers are doing this long chase for those tag titles. They've got the Dusty Cup and what have you, and then the Shenanigans getting attacked, and then the triple threat, and blah, blah, blah. Look, obviously the plans will have had to change with the loss of MSK, but I think in terms of pivoting, put it on Pretty Deadly, like you say, a hell of a rocket strapped, and as soon as they've arrived, and you can continue with the Creed brothers, who just, ran through a lot of the opposition yesterday.
Yeah, they kicked everywhere. They looked good in the match, and obviously the tired state gives them an out and stuff. So yeah, I mean, they've got material there to push forward.
I love Brutus Creed.
He's a little,
such a brilliant lump. Take that in the nicest possible way.
Meatball of a man, isn't he? I like both of them. They've taken to wrestling really quickly, haven't they? The
More cannonballs, and I'm not talking the one you're thinking of. I'm talking like a Lost Boys in Hook cannonball style off the apron from Brutus Creed, please. But yes, best of luck to Pretty Deadly going forward. And Nathan Fraser, I believe, is coming to
the
NXT.
ghost of Benjamin Carter.
Indeed.
I'm joking.
Great decision to bring him on, though, because
he's really good.
NXT UK has a limited viewership. I know NXT 2.0 doesn't have the viewership it once had, but he's so talented.
Get him out of that warehouse.
Exactly.
Get him out of that warehouse.
Right, let's talk about next year's WrestleMania being teased by a completely different TV show. You know, Young Rock, the story of The Rock growing up, basically. Well, they, on that show, have now apparently teased The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Last night's episode was set in 1996, and it showed a young Roman Reigns watching footage of Yokozuna entering that year's Royal Rumble, and he turned to the camera and did the whole "acknowledge me" thing. And then the Young Rock version of Reigns tried to put the Young Rock version of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in a headlock, and The Rock said that the world wasn't ready for this, and that a match that big can only happen at WrestleMania. They couldn't, could they?
They know what they're doing here, don't they? I don't think this should be taken as an indication that the match is happening or anything like that. I think they're just having fun with the speculation, right? They're just messing around. They know that dumbasses like us will come on a video and go, hey, it's definitely happening. But yes, The Rock versus Roman Reigns is the big money match. It's WWE's biggest money match that they have on the table. It's the white whale of wrestling matches. It's the one they'll be chasing forever. Hollywood next year would be a logical place to put it. As per usual, the barrier is The Rock's schedule, which is insane. Lots of reasons. Everyone seems to want it to happen. Fans, company, competitors. but The Rock is a very busy boy. So, yeah, I'm very much taking the stance on this match of I'll believe it when I see it, basically.
It's definitely happening.
Oh, there he is.
Book your tickets.
Big Gary guarantees here.
If that match happens, my head will explode.
Yeah, it'll be a
my
lot of fun.
favourite wrestler of all time versus the greatest wrestler of right now. Acknowledge him.
I think Roman Reigns is the greatest wrestler of all time. I mean, that's what some people with avatars told me on Twitter, anyway. Although they're bots, aren't they?
Yeah, I was about to say.
But now they've all performed an illegal operation.
Indeed.
And now we are all iRobot Will Smith.
Let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture.
I'm very
WWE.
tired, Adam.
Yeah, we all are. I think
Carry me through this section, please.
First question today comes from Matt Milam, who says, now Wheeler Yuta is in the Blackpool Combat Club. How would you feel about Yuta versus Trent for the Pure title? Wheeler Yuta, of course, Ring of Honor Pure champion. Maybe at Battle of the Belts. I could see Yuta winning under Pure rules, thus getting revenge for his dick behaviour and the loss truly sparking Trent's heel run.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense with ongoing storylines. Trent is obviously very pissed off at this young man. What do you call him?
He's a great knobhead. Take this in the best possible way, Trent. In terms of character work, yeah, new shaved head Trent. You're like, oh, you're a bit of an arsehole, aren't you?
Yeah, he is. He's been a bit of a fanny to little Yuta recently. Chuck Taylor tried to be the, look, come on,
guys.
Come on, guys. And then Trent was like, no, screw you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this makes sense. Trent's going to be extra fired up after getting his own ass kicked by Bryan Danielson this past week. Yeah, this is great. This is really good.
I've never, I'll put my hands up, I'd never really watched a pure rules wrestling match until I saw the Yuta one. Yeah. Was it 3 rope breaks per match and what have you?
And then, like, they did the creative thing. I mean, Gresham's done this before, but the thing with Steve Macklin earlier this year where he pinned him when he was in a submission hold because of the rope. It's like you can do some creative stuff with it, for sure.
I really like it, yeah. But I think that's a fantastic bit of booking. Speaking of which, speaking of Ring of Honor, I should say, over now to His Lordship Dan Zimmerman, who says, good morning, King of the Mic.
Why, Dan? Why?
Good morning, King of the Mic.
Yeah.
People say, why don't you just hide that? They don't realise how many of those mics I've got dotted around the WhatCulture office. And King of the Can.
What am I doing with this?
Shout out to our friends at Top Rope Brewing. With the possibility of Tony Khan reaching a deal with HBO Max, I don't know who he is, do you think there will be a weekly Ring of Honor show on that platform? Hope your Wednesday is the humpiest of hump days.
I'm putting a Ring of Honor show on HBO Max. Yeah, look, so many unanswered questions about Ring of Honor, its future distribution platforms, all of that stuff. I mean, putting whatever AEW do streaming-wise, and they're probably going to do something streaming-wise before long.
Yes.
Having Ring of Honor shows on that, be it the back catalogue or new content, would add value to any subscription fee, and that makes sense, obviously. But to be honest, like, there's just so many variables with this, so many unconfirmed details, so many questions that haven't been answered that I don't really feel confident going, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. However, your proposal does make sense. That being said, if a TV network goes, hey, Tony, we'll pay you more money than this platform will, then he might go with that. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting the next few months following what happens with streaming and TV networks and AEW. A lot of people are drawing premature conclusions, particularly on this Warner Media Discovery thing that's going on. Hey, they're getting cancelled. Hey, they're getting a 5-fold increase. Nobody knows anything. Literally nothing. Like, there's no evidence pointing anyone in any
But Andy,
direction.
this thing happened in WCW 20 odd years ago.
WCW, which was owned by the TV network. It's like the situations aren't even comparable, but you can't tell that to bots on Twitter.
Exactly.
The malfunction. But yeah, this is a good question. I like it a lot. I just don't feel like we have enough information to accurately answer it, but keep an eye on this.
Having said this deal is definitely going to happen. I'll say the opposite. So we've got all bases covered that way.
You see what I have to work with, guys.
But I will say, when people were initially talking about an AEW streaming platform, I was a bit like, Like, I get it. They've got already got a great back catalogue, but can you really justify a few years of stuff on there?
Yeah.
Now they're like, do you want all of Ring of Honor on there? It's like, well, there you go. You've made it completely work. I hope that we do get a weekly Ring of Honor show because, it's all well and good bringing over some of the talent they've got in Ring of Honor, and I know they've obviously done some of the people going the opposite way, Brian Cage, for example, but there's some fantastic talent on Ring of Honor, and there has been for a while, and I hope that this show keeps on running, and a weekly show on HBO Max and whatever his station is would be really good. Danny Navarro gives us our final question of the day. Danny says, lads, do you think they had Gresham? It's all Ring of Honor based, this.
Yeah.
Do you think they had Gresham to the Battle of the Belts card to defend the ROH title, perhaps against a returning Rey Fenix?
Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. I like featuring the ROH title on that show, for sure. It's weird how this show has just crept up, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, it's literally...
We're buggered as well covering it.
Yeah, because we've got bank holidays in the UK.
We're off for 4 days from after tomorrow.
It's all right, Pollard and the crew are in. They'll get it sorted, don't worry.
The Welsh don't believe in bank holidays.
Yeah, all of that. They only believe in losing to Scotland in the upcoming
Oh,
World
it
Cup.
started already!
Take-
It started already!
Take a seat. Fast forward to Gareth Bale crying on the stadium floor as Grant Hanley sticks the nut on him. It's going to be great. What was the question? I'm lost.
Ring of Honor title match at Battle of the Belts versus Rey Fenix.
Yeah, I think Lyndon Dykes is really going to enjoy celebrating that winning goal. No, it's a good idea, yes. Put the Ring of Honor title on there. It'll be a fun match. It might not necessarily be something that draws, but is that a priority for the show on a Saturday night? I'm not so sure. Put it on there. If Phoenix is fit and ready to go, why the hell not? If not, may I suggest an alternative pack?
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Him and Gresham would be really good.
Yeah, any of those guys, I think it's a really good balance. Jonathan Gresham is just so technically proficient and a joy to watch in the ring, but especially when you counterbalance that with some mad flippy dude like Pac or Rey Fenix. I'd like to see it. I don't think it's going to happen because Battle of the Belt's only 1 hour, so...
Yes.
I've got to cram a lot of stuff on there, so I don't know, and I'd rather see, for example, Thunder Rosa get a bit more time. Speaking of which, I should do this now because I should have done it for the ad final and I've completely forgotten. Go and check out Thunder Rosa's video with Simon Miller eating a chili and then regretting it for the rest of his life.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but yes, hopefully we do see more Jonathan Gresham on AWTV as well because he's so talented.
He's very good.
Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and I'm just going to do this now so we don't have people going meh, 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 in the comments or on Twitter again. WWE are doing a show here in the UK. People were like, well, and you mentioned it on the news yesterday because WWE hate us and they always release news about 20 minutes after we come out of the studio.
Yep.
But also, first of all, fantastic news. Saturday, 3rd of September 2022, they're coming to Cardiff's Principality Stadium with a big WWE premium live event. Can't wait for that. We will be there in one shape or another. And the reason why we didn't cover it is we already broke the story. So.
Yeah.
Andrew Pollard had the exclusive on this months ago.
Yeah, WWE just confirming the date, of course. But yeah, shout out to Pollard.
Hey, if you want the exclusives, at Cultured Left Peg on Twitter. Apart from bad takes on Wrexham, it's all good stuff.
I mean, his football takes when Wales inevitably lose to Scotland, they're going to be abysmal
Wrexham?
as well.
Are you talking about the poor man's Chesterfield? Oh, okay, fair enough.
Wales, poor man's Scotland.
I really hope he's going to watch this. He'll be like, oh, the boys are so nice. It might be break stories. What's all this?
Yeah,
Love you, Pollard.
Ryan Fraser's going to make him cry. It's going to be so nice. I love Pollard, but come on, football's football, you know?
Phil's editing this like that.
Yeah, not a clue.
No idea.
David Beckham.
Fantastic news to see WWE finally coming back to the UK, Andy.
Yeah, I hope it's better than Insurrection 2004, which was the last one we had. But yeah, keep an eye out for something special regarding that show as well.
Exactly. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, we're going to review NXT 2.0 and those new tag team champions, and look ahead to a wild episode of AEW Dynamite a little bit later on today. Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, follow both of us, follow Andy Murray at...
Follow me, Andy H. Murray. The H stands for... Here he is.
It's Billy Gunn sweating out of his nipples.
Sweaty there. Billy Gunn, yeah. We should have filled it up with water so they could see the...
Don't, honestly, it's disgusting. Follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
I think you can pick his abs off.